everybody, Alfredo Ornelas here, and today we will be reviewing SANDMARC's new 1.55 squeeze anamorphic lens. Alright, here we go. Alrighty y'all, so I'm going to set up the basic layout of what I'm going to do for the rest of this video. Number one, I'm going to do the unboxing. I'm going to do the unboxing, that way you guys can get a feel of what it was like unboxing the lens. The second thing I'm going to show y'all is comparing this lens to the ultra wide camera that is built into the iPhone 11 Pro. This one has better advantages over it. It's just overall gives you sharper quality, wider capture, everything, but I'm going to compare so you guys can get a feel. And that way you guys don't just take my word for it, but so you guys can actually see it. Third thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show y'all a little montage clip of what this lens is able to capture in broad daylight. I went out and got some shots with this lens in broad daylight in downtown Fort Worth. Little handheld action without a gimbal, but even without a gimbal, I was able to capture some really nice shots. And the last thing I'm going to do is show y'all how to use this lens on Filmic Pro. You know, you have to de-squeeze it, you have to do all that stuff. It's really not that much, but I'm going to make it simple for you guys. It's really simple and easy. What aspect ratio to use, etc, etc. And some of the cool features you can do. Things that this can do when mounted onto the wide camera that you wouldn't be able to do on the ultra wide. So that's why this has the advantage. The thing that I love about this lens is that it gives you a super wide capture and it gives you lens flares. The lens flares are amazing. A lot of really nice stuff about this lens. But anyways, less talking, more showing. Moving on. Alrighty y'all, so here she is. The SANDMARC anamorphic ultra lens that is 1.55 zoom. Let's just take a look at the box. So SANDMARC action gear, nice little picture, features, anamorphic lens, iPhone 11 case, clip-on mount, cleaning pouch, specifications. The lens gives you a 1.55 squeeze. The aspect ratio is 276:1. Glass is multi-coated, and the diameter is 42 millimeters. So yeah, let's get to it. So here's a little iPhone 11 Pro case. Here it is, anamorphic 1.55. Unboxing it. Here's a little clip-on, and here is the actual lens. Pretty heavy lens, not light stuff. Take a look at that. That is a beauty. And you remove this, screws right on to the case right here. Just like that. Alrighty, so it screws onto the case, but one really important thing to note is that this line right here, this little dash, aligns with this little dash on the case. So that's how you know you have it perfectly aligned. That way you know whether or not your shot's gonna be all messed up or de-squeezed or whatever. But yeah, so I mean that's the benefits of using the Pro case that comes with the lens. This one's a cheaper one, not as protective as the, well actually this one doesn't feel too bad. The Pro case that's priced at $30 is actually a little bit better quality. But either way, this works too. And this one, if you align it perfect with this, it gives you a perfect shot. And if you don't have this case, if you don't use the case, you're probably going to be struggling to find the perfect shot. This saves you some time. Take a look. Alrighty y'all, so as promised, I'm going to show y'all some of the features that Filmic Pro offers for SANDMARC's anamorphic lens. Okay, so the first thing I did was screw on the lens onto the iPhone's main wide camera. And as you can see, the image looks very squeezed. This is just raw footage after screwing on the lens. So this is not cinematic and not what we want. I'm going to show y'all how to change this. In order to de-squeeze this image, it's fairly simple. You simply press on the settings icon, then you press on hardware, scroll down, and then you click on 1.55x anamorphic adapter. And boom, you can see the difference. Now we have a much more cinematic shot. The image is de-squeezed and you get what you paid for. Now, one of the huge advantages of using this anamorphic lens instead of the ultra wide camera that's built into the iPhone is that this lens allows you to adjust the focus. You can perform rack focus with this. That's a really cool feature that Filmic Pro offers. You're capturing a very wide shot and still being able to be in control of the focus. That is a huge upside for cinematic filmmaking. You even have the ability to zoom in and zoom out of your shots. You can adjust the ISO and the shutter speed. Typically, for filmmaking, you want to double your shutter speed to whatever your frame rate is, but that's a rule that can be broken depending on what kind of feel you want for your video. Now, I don't have an ND filter on, so it's not allowing me to set the proper shutter speed, but another huge upside to this awesome anamorphic lens is that any of SANDMARC's ND filters or polarizing filters can mount right onto this lens. Now, as for the aspect ratio, you want to shoot in a regular 16:9 frame. Now, how do you do that? It's simple. Go to settings, click on resolution, and then click on 16:9 aspect ratio. Make sure you're on 4K to get the sharpest quality. Now we'll just adjust the ISO. By shooting in the 16:9 ratio, it automatically gives you, or compresses I should say, the 276 aspect ratio for you. That's what's really cool about this lens. Now, what you don't want to do is click on the 276 aspect ratio on Filmic Pro, because what you'll do is simply crop out more of the image than you need to. Like I said, the 16:9 ratio will automatically adjust the proper aspect ratio for you. Now, another great feature about SANDMARC's anamorphic lens is that it gives you cinematic lens flares. These are just inside my room with a little light bulb, but when you're out in the city with sunlight, with stoplights, pretty much anything, you can get very unique looking shots. You can get some strong lens flares and some light ones. It all depends on how you angle your camera. Another cool thing you can do with this lens is flip your phone around and shoot vertically. This gives you a very tall, unique looking shot. Alright, to show y'all some lens flares and some other highlights of what this anamorphic lens can do, I went out and shot some handheld footage in broad daylight. So here it is. Lens. SANDMARC Anamorphic. So here I am with the new SANDMARC 1.55 squeeze anamorphic lens, and this thing has a super wide capture, which gives you great quality. I mean, this is low light. It's about 8 p.m. Sun's setting down, and as you can see, it's still capturing good quality. Now I'm holding the camera on the same spot I was. It's still the same time. And as you can see in low light, the ultra wide lens built into the iPhone does not keep up with SANDMARC's new anamorphic lens. I mean, the details aren't sharp, and I'm not even looking at it. I just know, I know. I'm gonna take a look at this in post though. No, I just know. In both pictures, I had the shutter speed at double, so I had it at 1/60th of a second. And I have the ISO at about 300 ISO right now. I had it at 200 in the shot y'all saw previously, but here we'll crank it up to say 2040. That's still a really nice shot. Obviously the higher the ISO, the lower the sharpness, but I mean, this is absolutely amazing. This is 2000 ISO. And look at the shot you're getting with this lens. Now this is the same shot, but now this is with the ultra wide camera. Now if I crank up the ISO to 2000, you can see that yes, it's more visible, but the sharpness and the quality of the video is gone. Wow, I mean, this looks like something you get in a DSLR or mirrorless camera. To tell you the truth, I don't know all that much about them because I'm an iPhone guy. But I mean, would I need to buy a super expensive camera when I can get this kind of quality on an iPhone? Look at that, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I mean, what more can you ask for? This is top of the line quality here. SANDMARC's 1.55 Anamorphic lens. This is insane. 2000 ISO for a smartphone. I mean, if this was the ultra wide, the quality would be horrible. I mean, I'm about to show you. I'm about to compare it. All right, here we go. Alrighty, y'all. So now we're looking at the exact same shot, exact same settings. 1/60th of a shutter speed because we have a 30 frames per second timeline. ISO is at 2000, just like it was before with the anamorphic lens. But as you can see, the quality and sharpness goes down drastically. I mean, the difference between this and the anamorphic lens, you shouldn't even compare it. The only reason I am is to show you guys why you should get this lens as opposed to just sticking with the ultra wide camera built into the phone. I mean, look at this, you can't even see it. Look at that. This is not cinematic. Don't get me wrong, I like the ultra wide lens, but only in the daylight. In low light, well, I'll let this speak for itself. Same cinematic moves I was before. Alrighty, I really hope y'all enjoyed this review video. I definitely had a lot of fun testing out SANDMARC's new 1.55 squeeze anamorphic lens. Keep in mind that everything you saw in this review video was shot on this lens with the iPhone 11 Pro, but I had no light sources, meaning when I was filming in low light, I didn't have any portable lights with me, any RGBs or anything like that. This was just straight out of the phone, just with adjusting the ISO settings, no extra stuff, and I still got really, really good quality stuff. So you can imagine what kind of quality you can get when you attach some lights to this, or to the tripod. What more can you ask for? Best anamorphic lens on the market, SANDMARC's new 1.55 squeeze anamorphic lens. If you like this video, don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And if you didn't like this video, let me know what I could have done better. I'll be happy to take constructive criticism and turn it the other way around. But anyways, SANDMARC's new lens, top of the line. Until the next one.